Hello, we are from Group 19. Today we would like to talk about land property as collateral in bank lending issue and challenge. For introduction, what is property? Property is a term applied to anything owned by a person or business with a right title, in which the owner is given certain right that can be exercised over the goods. They have two types of property, which is personal property and real property. For land property can be referred to as property that can generate income for the owner in real estate. Though this owner of the land does not have to do the actual work of the estate. Why bank use securities as collateral? Securities is important to bank as collateral to secure the loan in lending activity. Then security is important to bank as a protection against financial loss in operational banking activities. Malaysia prefers to use land property as collateral because it has a features of good security for bankers dealing with the borrower. Firstly, land property easy to manage for the bankers. Bankers need to manage security physically, like land properties that are left unoccupied and unattended. Then, land property has a good quality, which is it suitable to be accepted as collateral security because it is durability. Land property is durable in nature because want to ensure that it is available to be used in repaying the loan in the event of the default of borrowers. Moreover, the land property is easy to value. For your information, land property are able to maintain their value, especially when they are located bustling commercial areas. Thus, land property is one of the example easy to value security.
My name is Naima binti Masyad 255876. I want to present about real literature review. In the bank lending around the world, collateral play an important role, and the lender property is regarded an important collateral. The collateral is an asset pledged to a bank by a borrower until a loan is repaid. In the other words, collateral is a property or other asset offered by a borrower as a means of securing the loan by a lender. Most people use landed property as their collateral because they have lower interest rate compared to unsecured loan. The bank has the right to resort to seize the collateral and set it to pay off the loan if the borrower default. If the borrower does not pay back, they could lose part of their property. So we will cost the borrower to It will cost the bank to incur losses if the borrower is unable to repay their debt. To prevent the bank from incurring losses in the future, landed property has the collateral from the borrower should be valuable. Individual and small businesses are affected by COVID-19, so they are unable to repay the loan. So the automatic moratorium announced by our Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin to assist those suffering from financial problem due to loss of income. However, when registering the owner name at the land office, there are some issues. Indivisibility of title in Malaysia can be divisible because of forgery and mispresentation in Section 3402. There are, there are several causes in our topic, such as poor management and customer not registering land at the Malaysian Land Registry. We have some suggestions to solve the issues and causes, such as utilize the technology, multi-factor authentication, and hire goods employees. For more detail about issue and causes, we will explain in next slide. Thank you.
We will be discussing about the fraud and forgery in indivisibility of title. Section 340 bracket 2 of the Malaysian National Land Code states that the title shall not be indivisible in the circumstance of registration obtained by means of fraud, misrepresentation, or forgery. Referring to the Office of Director of Lands and Mines for the Federal Territories, a record of 730 cases of land fraud and forgery were reported from 2005 to mid-2012. During the first 5 months of 2016, PDRM issued 151 complaints concerning land fraud and with damages approaching 30 million ringgit as announced by Utusan Malaysia. Fraud. Fraud must be the fraud committed in the act of obtaining a registered title as required to defeat a person's title. The title or interest of any person or body should not be indefensible in just about any absence of fraud or misrepresentation. Upon this mission, incidentally, Hun Ho presented the federal court's judgment in the celebrated case of Dr. Jaginder Singh and Taro Rajaratnam defined fraud as follows. It is clearly demonstrated by the authorities the fraud must be real. This must include dishonesty of some kind. A major determining factor whether fraud was committed in this transaction is the motive to cheat. It can be considered that there is really no fraud without such an intention. Next, forgery. Forgery is a fraudulent application of another thing which already images, for example, the original landowner's signature. Unless it was created in the absence of fraud, a forged document cannot confer indefensibility. Forgery never worked to provide a good title or interest. It was held in Ong Lok Cho vs. Quickshin and Sons case that if a person had allowed to give some other person the right to execute a charge, his authority was restricted to the preparatory work of the documents only, and did not proceed to the charge that was subsequently created because of the previous forgery. Such a charge formed from an agent's forgery seemed to have a nullity and responsible for setting aside. The registration was therefore cancelled. That's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name Nur Zaida binti Kadir Maidin. My matric number 259337. Now I am going to present the cause of indefeasibility title. There are two causes. First of all, bank has poor management information. Bank has two way of registration system. They are manually and computerizedly for register the land title. When there are two systems in a one time in a bank, there are possibility of fraudulent activities happen. In the same time, because of bank has poor management system, there are misrepresentation happen in a bank. Bank won't give the real information of the property to the customer who going to purchase the land that bank take from a borrower that failed to pay the debt. Second cause is not register the land at the land registry. If we not register the land at the land registry, we will not get a full ownership and rights on the land, so that everyone or banks can make a forgery on our land. When we register our land on a land registry, we will get the right and ownership, full ownership on our land. So nobody can make a forgery at our land. Thank you.
My name is Chai Poleng, metric number 262986. I would like to present about the recommendation on solving the issue and challenge in landed property as collateral in banking lending. First, to utilize technology. The banker can use audit trail to trace the transaction look like suspicious and determine the source of the document provided. The bank can use audit trails to monitor the work of the banker. The banker know that they have no chance to engage in the fraudulent activity. The bank also can use digital forensics technology to detect the fraud and alter document in a few seconds. Next, multi-factor authentication. The banker can make a phone call to the property of the owner when got someone obtain and secure the loan by using that property of that owner. This may help bank to verify whether or not the borrower obtained properly the title of the property from that owner. Last but not least, to implement strict pre-employment screening technique. The banks can give any pre-employment test such as integrity, honesty, or personality test to the interviewee. This can help bank to measure the characteristic and attitude of the interviewee. The bank also can contact previous employer to find out the reason the interviewee left that company. This may help bank to eliminate the potential employee who may engage in fraudulent activity. That's all from me. Thank you.